In Philippians, Paul screams out one word over and over: rejoice. Paul sat in a Roman prison bound to soldiers in the twilight of his life, yet he found himself rejoicing. Paul states in Philippians 1:18, "Yes, and I will continue to rejoice, for I know that through your prayers and God's provision of the Spirit of Jesus Christ, that what has happened to me will turn out for my deliverance." Although many reasons for rejoicing are mentioned throughout Philippians, here Paul rejoiced because he knew God's people were praying for his deliverance, and he knew his deliverance would happen. This week, Pastor Gene Beebe faced another test, a test of faith. Gene has struggled with diabetes, and he struggled with circulation in his legs. Recently, he was told that one leg did not have the necessary blood flow, so Gene found himself faced with a decision. One doctor wanted to amputate his leg. Another doctor wanted to get circulation going by trying another procedure. The choice was obvious: keep the leg. So the church went to prayer, and I'm thankful to report Gene kept his leg. But I'm not nearly as thankful as Gene. I can hear him now. "Yes, I will continue to rejoice, for I know that through your prayers and God's provision," well, you get the point here. He's excited that you prayed for him. Gene is rejoicing that somebody prayed for God's provision and God gave him a miracle. Prayer and a good doctor turned this procedure into Gene's deliverance. Now, Paul could say to the Philippians in 1:4, "In all my prayers for all of you, I always pray with joy." Paul prayed with joy. But Paul could also say to the Philippians in verse 18, "Yes, I will continue to rejoice, for I know that through your prayers and God's provision," in other words, what's happened to me will turn out for my deliverance. Now, this is really, really important. Paul rejoiced because people were praying for his deliverance. And because of their prayers, he knew a miracle would happen. Paul said something very similar to the Colossians. In Colossians 1:10, he says, "He has delivered us from such deadly peril, and he will deliver us again. On him we have set our hope that he will continue to deliver us." Here it is, "as you help us by your prayers." You see, prayer and rejoicing goes both ways. Prayer for people should cause us to rejoice, and prayer from people should cause us to rejoice. Why? Here it is. Because faith is involved in prayer going two directions, in and out. Are you praying for someone's deliverance? Ask, believe, and rejoice. Is someone praying for your deliverance? Here it is. Believe, receive, and rejoice. Did someone pray for you, resulting in you being healed or delivered? Receive and rejoice. Prayers made for others should cause us to rejoice. Why? Because we have faith. The answer is on the way. Prayer made on our behalf should always cause us to rejoice. Again, faith is the link. We have faith knowing that the answer's on the way. Prayers of faith, it causes us to rejoice. Have you ever prayed in agony? So did Jesus. In Luke 22, verse 44, it says, "And being in anguish, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground." But the big question is, have you ever prayed in joy? By the way, so did Jesus. Hebrews 12:2 says, "For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God." According to Hebrews 12:2, Jesus prayed from the cross with joy. Now, there's times to pray in agony, but I believe rejoicing in prayer is better. A girl by the name of Debbie, in an article called Joyful in Prayer in Crosswalk.com states, "I cannot tell you the number of times I've walked into a prayer meeting burdened with the cares of everyday life, only to discover an unquenchable joy in God's presence. She said, often as I pray with others or silently wait upon God, I experience a joy that no circumstances can destroy. And then she defines it. She said in 2005, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. It came out of nowhere, and it threw her into deep darkness and discouragement. Her future was threatened. But as she began to pray in God's presence, she found hope even as she was going through cancer. She said this, I cannot begin to describe God's sustaining power and joy in the midst of a life-threatening illness. His joy is real and far deeper than any earth-shaking life experience. She said, I thank God for my experience with cancer because through it, God was able to develop a more Christ-like character in me. And she said, now I have a new appreciation for life. I'm telling you, pray with rejoicing, and you'll be able to say with Paul, yes, I will continue to rejoice, for I know that through your prayers and God's provision, the Spirit of Jesus Christ, what's happened to me, will turn out for my deliverance.